My name is Dolores Cassandra Satu Kufi. I'm 23 years of age. I'm from the beautiful village of Lalomalava, and I'm also proudly sponsored by my beautiful village of Lalomalava. Today, my topic is tourism, and my question was, how would you teach and advise our communities to maintain the beauty of our natural heritage and people as tourist destination? People travel for many reasons. For some, it can be a journey of self-discovery, others to experience different cultures or seeking unexplored and unknown territories. What makes Samoa so unique to the rest of the world is the way in which we identify ourselves through our language, Christian values, and our strong cultural beliefs. In all honesty, I don't think there is a need to teach anything new to our people in order to maintain what we have to attract tourists. My advice would be to make sure that our values and beliefs are passed down to our younger generators and that we facilitate talks around how we can sustain our natural environments to attract tourists. I am currently staying with Reverend Tonu and Malelenga from the beautiful village of Iva. The people there are absolutely amazing. Each and every single person from Iva is consistently seeking to make my time in the incredible village more enjoyable. It has a strong sense of culture and identity that permeates throughout the village. You can tell people of Iva have a sense of pride when it comes to keeping the village clean and green through sustainability methods of farming. In Iva, it has been passed by the village council to ban dogs. I thought this was very interesting because the dogs here in Samoa are wild. And I get scared to walk anywhere just in case I get bitten. But not in Iva because of their new law in banning dogs. I've had the opportunity to walk everywhere and be exposed to Iva and all it can offer. Iva also have a week dedicated to the youth every year to empower and encourage its young people. This year will be the 9th year this program will be taking place, and from the stories I've heard, people overseas travel to Iva for this particular reason. Creating a sense of belonging that tourists long to experience is so important. When our people show appreciation and love to our environment and culture, tourists will see this and would want to continue to travel here to relive the experience over and over again. Thank you.
Good morning everyone, honourable guests and to our judges, welcome. My name is Lalomalava Giselle Tuisfunga Price. I'm 20 years old and I'm your Miss Samoa Melbourne contestant number 2. My topic this morning is our beautiful environment and my opinion on the use of plastic bags and microplastics that are destroying our sea life and our oceans here in Samoa. So the use of plastic in the world is getting out of control and is growing rapidly, increasing the impact as it's evident as it makes its way through our finest fish species. The use of plastic and control of waste management is becoming a long-term and reoccurring problem in the home of our people here in Samoa and our beautiful islands as it destroys our sea life and our fish species. Eventually, it will impact our quality of life, reduce also income of our people, and possibly reduce the tourism that we get here in Samoa. We as a community need to become more environmentally friendly and implement ways of drastically reducing the amount of plastics getting into our fish species and sea life. We need to become aware of our environment, and as individuals As a community, we need to take notice of the conditions that we live in. I have witnessed with my own eyes in my beautiful village of Savaiian on my stay here in Savaii. It has been a great example of being environmentally aware, as every week the local mothers there from the FKSA church, along with the village youth, come together at least once a week where they do pick up of rubbish throughout the village and also clean up their local pool. This where they have communal baptisms and laundry is also done there as well. So the village of Savaiian is doing their part to reduce pollution and litter by creating a community of awareness. If I was to become Miss Samoa, I would implement programs to promote recycling within our communities, as well as develop programs that are already in place, utilizing the natural resources that are everywhere on our beautiful island. Since my stay in Savaiian, Savaii, I have not once seen any plastics, but I've witnessed the use of hand-woven baskets made with our leaves of our own natural trees. This utilization of our natural environment helps us to also get back to our roots and limit the damage of further problems in the future. I know that we can come together as a strong nation to keep Samoa clean and keep Savaii also beautiful with the use of our community spirit and environmental awareness. I also hope to one day educate our younger generation, as the going says, teach them while they're young. This as our younger generation to express the importance of our waste management and keeping our world clean for future generations. So let's come together to stop plastics from polluting our beautiful environment. Lalomalava.
Lalomalava, everyone, honorable judges. My topic for today is agriculture, and the question is, what are your views and how can we encourage our farmers to grow and develop the farming and agriculture industry? No farmers equals no food. No food equals no future. Let me repeat that again. No farmers equals no food. No food equals no future. Imagine two neighbors. The Mativa family or the Paul family consists of Toma and Tina, for example. They are a farming family and live off their plantation. Next door to them is the Maor family or the rich family, Jacopo and Ruta. They are a wealthy couple with well-paid jobs and little to no interest in learning farming. Toma and Tina would often leave bowls of fruit or vegetables in front of Jacopo and Ruta's door. Despite their effort, the bowls of produce would either be eaten by birds or rot from being in the sun. Over time, this act of kindness stopped as the Mativa family felt their efforts were being wasted. It seemed that life was good for everyone. Then one day, Jacopo became ill, which forced Ruta to take long periods of leave to take care of him. As his condition worsened, so did their financial status. As funds diminished, they soon found themselves in a position of poverty. Meanwhile, Toma and Tina had built a business selling their produce and were able to live comfortably off their plantation and profit of sales. When Toma and Tina found out the situation Jacopo and Ruta were in, they shared their produce and taught Ruta how to grow her own fruits and vegetables. The main point of this story is to understand how important farming is to our livelihood. We currently have 58 vegetables and fruit farmers in Bolu and a mere of 22 in Savaii. These numbers could be higher. I believe if we begin to change the way a career in agriculture is viewed within our society, it will encourage our youth to get involved. This could be done by introducing school programs, for example, farming camps where the children will learn agriculture skills in a fun and encouraging environment. When it comes to fighting poverty, teaching people how to grow their own food will help with the basic cost of living, produce more nutritious food, and improve the livelihood of a booming population, changing the mentality and view of farming to one that is positive. Agriculture is an industry where scientists can utilize this skill to find ways of breaking through the traditional practices of farming used in Samoa. Engineers can build and invent machinery and technology to assist farmers in harvesting or planting crops. Considering the challenges faced by our country, the question we need to ask ourselves are, what can we do to implement some of these solutions? Why should our youth care about the future of agriculture? O le mātou mawhitanga sai mātou tinai o e sapali. Tele lava mātou tamawhitanga e mai i lo lātou si o manga po o whatuanga foi. So e tā ua tele si o manga ia te tātou. A wao le atuana fo ina mai i a tātou ngā lue ma leo ai. E whei o le whai upulea mai le tusipa ia. O le kenese ma tau pe luon whai kusfulnima. Ua ave fo le tangata le li le atua. Ma ua tu ua ia te ile whatuanga i e tena e ngā lue ma leo ai. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. Whaatai lava.
Tulona ia o pa ia mau mamalu Samoa. O oe o le ia i vivia. Ua ta oto a o se alau. E ahafua mai le mata saua se ia pa ia ana linga. Na tau wilo ai malo. Tulona lava. Honorable judges, distinguished guests, and my dear fellow contestants, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Levalasi Vivian Sua, and my topic is culture. Culture. I will be talking about our Samoan language, our very own mother tongue that binds our people and our culture together. It is an important part of our culture. It is the very fiber that holds and binds our people. It connects us with all avenues of our culture. As the late Dr. Aiono Fanafi said, Ale ai le tangangana, ona le ai leo le tanganu. Ale ai le tanganu, ona bo le nu. Which means, when there's no language, there's no culture. That brings us to the core question, which is, what can we do to preserve and maintain the richness of our Samoan language? Ladies and gentlemen, the know-how to preserve and maintain anything worth keeping is to continue learning it and be more practical. But how? It's all about literacy, from early childhood to old age. So allow me to share with you 3 paradigms of practice to this effect. Firstly, speech. Speak it. One has to speak our language at all times. We must practice talking in Samoan to our families and friends. For instance, we should practice Fatu Lima with elite people such as elders and matais. Just like what we did with my host village at Samalai Ulu during the Ava ceremony and our pizza sweet farewell last night. Secondly, reading. Read it. One has to read anything Samoan, be it a love letter, a newspaper, a document, the Samoan books about our history and our traditions, and especially our Samoan Bible. That should be our daily reading. And always remember that readers are leaders. And thirdly, writing. Write it, and keep on writing. One has to write anything Samoan. You can start by writing your family tree, and record all daily events around your home and environment. So in conclusion, I want to remind us that our language is our culture. And if it binds us together, therefore, I urge you to practice, speak it, read it, and put it in writing. As the proverb says, e pala le maa, ai le pala le tala, which simply means the stone will decay and perish, but the spoken word will live on.
In Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6, it reads, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Inasmuch they sought wisdom that they might be instructed." The teaching profession is a noble one, and our teachers and church ministers are often our earliest and lifelong mentors for our children. As a young woman who has embraced all educational opportunities, it started as a child from within the walls of my own home, for I was taught somewhat the learning of my parents. I am following in their footsteps as I know that education is the gateway to a better and brighter future. Education gives us a knowledge of the world around us, and it changes it into something better. It develops in us a perspective of looking at life. It helps us build opinions and have points of view on things. It is knowledge, it is power. Information cannot be converted into knowledge without education. Education makes it capable of interpreting things among other things. It is not just about lessons and textbooks or just limited to a classroom. It is about the lessons of life. It expands our community, society, and nation vision. It develops the capabilities to fight the injustice, violence, corruption, and other factors. Just as the face is the mirror of the heart, the level of education develops the status of the nation. We need a system that will provide equal opportunity to both rich and poor students, the less fortunate and fortunate, so that they can contribute to the development of the country. By providing education, we remove the poverty, and every person in the country will become successful and provide their contribution to developing our economy. My research question I was given is based on the challenges our teachers and the education system in our village communities experience, and what would my advice be? Upon discussion with teachers, mothers of the Mafutanga o Lalomalava, and Sunday school whaiaonga, they noted that the attitude of the children was a challenge that came to mind first. It is hard for teachers to maintain the interest of the children in school for learning and acquiring knowledge. Children learn well and fast when they are interested and willing to learn, but can suddenly be withdrawn from engaging with teachers or parents if they do not see fit. The Mafutanga Tinga of Lalomalava did not fail to stress the importance of all collaborative effort in supporting and teaching our children, the future leaders of Samoa. When we unite in cause, our spirits are filled and our children benefit greatly from it. There is a saying that it takes a village to raise a child. And when a child is growing, you can always take a child out of a village, but not the village out of a child. Another challenge was the shortage and lack of teachers or children with passion to teach in the near future. We need to raise the status of teaching as a career to attract more about people into teaching as a knowledge-based profession. Today's world is vastly different from that of 50 years ago, and the pace of change is accelerating. With increasing globalization and advances in technology, communication, and social networking, an array of increasingly complex social and environmental issues, the school curriculum must attempt to equip students for this significantly changing world. However, many features of the school curriculum have been unchanged for decades. Objectives should include giving greater priority to the skills and attributes required for life and work in today's society, including skills as communication, creating, using technologies, working in teams, and problem solving, developing students' deep understandings of essential disciplinary concepts and principles, and their ability to apply the understandings to complex, engaging real-world problems. Another challenge is to identify and meet the needs of children from different backgrounds. Some children are at risk because of developmental delays or special learning needs, some because of their socioeconomically impoverished living circumstances, and some children experience multiple forms of disadvantage. Coming to Samoa has seen parents, communities, government, church, family work arms in arms to cater for the children's learning capacities. However, I am also aware that there are also weaknesses in some areas of our education system, where children are given too much of leisure freedom, where they are not mentally willing to take the challenge and expand their knowledge and create pathways for them for future success. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest.
Talofa, honourable judges, ladies and gentlemen. My topic today is the youth of Samoa. Our young people are the future of Samoa and the leaders of tomorrow. Unfortunately, there are many challenges facing the youths of today. The question is, what are the challenges for the development of youths in Samoa? And what is my advice to them? The challenges facing our youth of today are numerous and abound, but I will only address some core ones and also due to the permitted time. Number 1, communication breakdown between parents and children. Parents spend minimal quality time with their children due to work commitments, church and family obligations, overcommitting themselves to personal agendas, and thus influencing priorities, namely family responsibilities. For example, negligence. Number 2, lack of education. Lack of education is due to minimal opportunities for families with low income. I advise that the government should fund all levels of education that will enable less fortunate families to equality and equity of education. Self-worth of a child is a key component in building this child's self-confidence and esteem for the unseen tomorrow. Number 3, being supportive at all times. Youths are a vital part of society and life. Hence the importance of assisting and supporting our youths, not only from family members and communities, but in particular parents who should lead by example and in the forefront. The triangle of body, mind, and spirit, I believe, is the essence of any human being, regardless of gender, race, color, and religion. Harnessing these 3 aspects of a human being is a teamwork which must be, quote, lived out, unquote, at all times in families. Parents have a role. Children have a duty. The community also has a responsibility, and the church has an input to be fulfilled necessary from God. In saying this, the pinnacle of being a human being is the right to live to the fullest, expressing and sharing his or her God-given qualities, thus enabling us as creatures formed in God's image to showcase these 3 attributes of God. And it is only through the nurturing and harnessing of the body, mind, and spirit of a person, via a safe and utmost free environment within families, communities, countries, and denominations for this to be visible. Lalomalava.
The goal of a successful trader is to make the best trade. Money is secondary. Ladies and gentlemen, trade is the exchange of goods and services of equal values between 2 or more parties. This process has been a part of Samoan life since the beginning of time. It has allowed for a continuous partnership of exchange and growth amongst businesses. This is highly due to the uniqueness and qualities of goods and services exchanged. In Samoa alone, it is common for villagers to participate in the action of trade. From corner shops to plantations, unique products and international importation, Samoans are well equipped with a variety of products and services for their people. American Samoa and the United States of America are Samoa's largest trading partners. However, the beauty of trade is highly found in the local area. The idea of local exchange of goods and services contributes to God's love upon us Samoans through the natural resources He has provided. Commerce is referred to as the process of managing something principally for financial gain. In the beautiful village of Lalomalava in Savaii, commercialization is evident through the village creation of Samoan tobacco. Highly in demand, Samoan tobacco is a crucial benefit for the economy of Savaii. Grown on Savaii land, cut and made by Savaii hands, the people of Lalomalava are able to earn revenue to purchase assets such as houses, cars, and daily necessities just from trading tobacco locally. However, on the other hand, there are limitations that affect Samoan villages in regards to this topic. This includes the issue of similarity. The people of Lalomalava have a commonality amongst them, which includes creating and selling handcraft.
Handcrafts such as the Samoan fan or ili are communal amongst the villagers, thus trading them are a challenge in itself. Uniqueness is key to successful trading. Furthermore, another restriction or challenge of trade in Savaii, Samoa is international trade. As mentioned before, Samoa's biggest trading partners are American Samoa and the United States of America. Both countries are key to the success of Samoa's businesses. However, it also challenges the economy of Samoa. There are a total of 5 family shops in Lefangali'i. Usually family owned and run, these shops rely on state trade as well as international trade to ensure their businesses continue to run smoothly. The downfall of this is that it is timely, inconsistent and costly. It is a risk we should not frequently take. Ladies and gentlemen, it is vital that we remember that we have the capability of using what we have to earn money for our people. It is dangerous to rely on international trade and forget about our local abilities. As a Tamaitai Samoa, I truly believe that if we utilize what we have, we are capable of creating something to trade. Conclusively, trades have many impacts on our community. However, it is important that we do not stray away from our true values. No matter if we experience financial loss or successful revenue, in Ecclesiastes 5:10 it says, "Whoever loves money never has enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with their income." This too is meaningless. And I pray that God guides us in ways where we trade faithfully and beneficially for the survival of our country. Soifua Maia Manuia.
The topic I've been given is women and gender equality, and the question that I'll be responding to is the traditional role of women in the family and in modern society is changing. Women are taking on greater responsibilities. What do you think about these changes and the effect it is having on our people? From when I was a baby, I lived in a family that society's norms would call a traditional family. My father worked and provided while my mother stayed at home and cared for my brother and I. We lived a beautiful life. When I turned 8, my father was badly injured. My mother, being the strong Samoan woman that she is, stepped forward, took on a full-time job and became the provider. We were now a family living out of society's norms. We still lived a beautiful life. There's a saying that goes behind every great man, there is a great woman. But I like to say beside every great man, there is a great woman. My mother and father led our household side by side and raised us as equal partners. I believe that a world where women and men lead side by side is a world that will prosper. More and more women in modern society are breaking barriers. Women are taking on greater responsibilities at all levels of society. In the home, in the church, in the workplace, and even in our governments. These changes are starting to take place in Samoa, and I think that it's creating a more inclusive, dynamic, and brighter future for our people. In today's Samoa, we are led by a female Deputy Prime Minister. We have 5 seats reserved for women in our parliament, and we are led by ministry CEOs and ACEOs, some in our presence today. We also have women that are leading more silently in our communities, in our churches, in our homes, and in our community groups. These are the true unsung heroes. My host mum, Savaiian, is the president for the Women's Fellowship in our church. This works on projects that include development of the church, spiritual and social development, and family fellowship. My host parents, Reverend Samuelu and wife Savaiian, speak of how the women's ministry is one of the most highly regarded and strongest fellowships within the church. This is just one of the many instances where women play a great leading role in our community. The Women's Committee here in Lalomalava organise projects that include village cleanups, public health programs, economic development, and the preservation of traditional and cultural development for the future generations of Samoa. Today, I not only want to celebrate the prospects of our female future, I also want to honour the significance of our female past. In the 15th century, our tupu o Samoa, or ruler of all, was a strong reigning queen, Queen Lalomalava. Her reign established a new sense of social order and 60 years of peace. As holder of all 4 Te Whaiwha titles,
she united our nation. Queen Lalomalava's role in Samoa's history is one that is vital in the foundation of Samoa that we have today. Currently, our traditional roles as women in Samoa are shifting, but these roles and responsibilities are not entirely new. Having strong women with great responsibility is nothing foreign to our past. It made our past and it will write our future. In the beginning of my speech, I mentioned how my mother took on a leading role in our family. Today, I just want to take the time to not only give thanks to my mother, but all the women here in the audience for being strong examples of leaders in our country. Thank you.
Whaatalo whātu le mamaluma le pa'i o Samoa lo poto ai mai se le au whaamasino ia talo whalava. The topic I have selected is technology. My question is, what is your view on the effects of technological developments in our communities? Hands up of those of us who have sent or written a letter over the last year. Oh wow. And those of us who have sent a text messenger message via mobile phone in the last 24 hours, hands up. There you go. Judging by the show of hands, we are all very immersed in the technology world. In fact, technology and human life cannot be separated. Society has a cyclical codependence on technology. We use technology, depend on technology in our daily life, and our needs and demands for technology keep rising. We use technology to travel, to communicate, to learn, to do business, and even to live in comfort. For the beautiful village of Tafua, technology has made it easier for communication, transportation, education being efficient, effective, faster, reliable, and cheap. Technology has improved communication. Electronic media like the TV, televisions, radios, internet, and social media, these have all improved the way we exchange ideas, which can develop our communities. Technology has improved education and learning process. Education is the backbone of every economy. The integrating of educational technologies like smart whiteboards, computers, mobile phones, iPads, projectors, the internet, they're all being used in classrooms to boost students' interest in learning. Visual education is becoming more popular and proved to be the best method of learning. It's great to see in Samoa, students are now using SchoolNet via Samoa National Broadband Highway monitored by the Computer Services Limited. This was mainly developed for students in the rural communities such as Tafua to access school curriculum, learning materials such as previous examination papers, short stories, etc. SchoolNet also provides options like video conferencing for the education main office to connect with schools in rural areas where there is a shortage of teachers. Like everything, there is always negatives, but it's positive to see that Samoa has measurements in place to try counter online bullying. Samoa currently have Crimes Act 2013, which makes it an offence for people using spam, solicitation of children using ICT, and harassment using electronic equipment such as computers and social media. The punishment under the law is not more than 5 years imprisonment, and therefore it is a serious offence in Samoa. Police and the Ministry of Communication, Information and Technology, MCIT, are currently pushing through workshops and awareness for people to be internet smart, as well as visiting schools to educate and inform the students about the importance of being safe online. We all know that a rant or event that you post online will exist forever, so it pays to be cautious. The government, MCIT, have already put in place a strategic policy to address these issues. Let's remember our values as Samoans when we are online. Ole va fialoai. Let's all start a positive technology empowerment movement for all our communities. Of Savaiian.